Welcome to my unboxing and first look at the most exciting dual 120mm radiator pre-filled maintenance-free liquid cooler from Corsair since the H100. This is the Corsair H100i, and we are going to unbox it and we are going to find out what is better about it than the original H100, because I can already tell you one thing based on the picture. Those fans are so much better than the ones that are included with the H100 that it is not even funny anymore. Those are looking like Corsair's SP series fans, and those are some serious business, pretty cool fans. So let's have a look at what we got on the outside of the packaging to start with here. So, okay, extreme performance liquid CPU cooler, I can believe that. All right, we got some cool specs, bro, and some sort of, okay, moving right along. We've got some comparisons to the Intel box cooler, which is just totally unfair to this cooler. Why do they compare it to the Intel box cooler? What's the point of that? They should compare it to other high-performance coolers because it can show itself as being like pretty ass-kicking at that level as well. Hydro series requires a case with two 120mm fan mounts on top with 15mm spacing for standard dual radiators. Okay, magnetic mounting bracket and mounting hardware, Corsair link cable. Those are two other very cool things that are included with this cooler. So what is a magnetic mounting bracket? I have no idea. Stop, don't return it to the store, and product solutions guide. Ah, manual, ooh, warranty information. Notification for Australian consumers. This is a sample from Corsair, so I guess they sent me an Australian sample. Okay, so you got some pretty cool instructions for how to install the backplate, the fans and radiators, the mounting bracket. Oh, cool, I love it. Oh, I'm super excited about this. Okay, so let's start with the cooler. Actually, I lied. We're not going to start with the cooler. We're going to start with other stuff. We're going to get everything out of the box. We'll be back in a moment. All right, so everything you see in front of me is extremely exciting because it's all part of this whole package deal thing that we got going on here. So, first things first, the most boring possible part. All the screws and mounting hardware and whatnot. So you got all the screws you need to mount your fans to your rad. You got all the screws you need to mount your Intel whatnots to your Intel other whatnots. And then you've got these little pieces for mounting on AMD. These guys are for putting around your CPU socket. So this is pretty similar to what we saw on the original H100, except for the coolest thing ever. Check this out. Instead of a sort of, no offense to the previous generation Corsair product, but kind of horrible and total pain in the butt system that we had before, now if you want to change what socket you want to mount on, you just go like that. And then you put your, here, so you put your little brackets under here if you want to mount on AMD, just like that. You put the screw on the top of it, and it's done. Then you can just pull it off like this. No big deal. Intel mount, just like this. No big deal. So awesome. This is great for guys like me who are swapping sockets all the time, and it's just, oh, just freaking awesome. Universal backplate for everything from LGA 1155 and 1156 to 1366 to 2011. Actually, sorry, not 2011. 2011 is done using these ones right here. So it does, this one is not needed, but this piece will still be used for 2011. This is the universal one. So pretty much any Intel socket you can imagine can be mounted to with this cooler. And I'm actually going to check on the back of the box and see if they have support for, looks like, yeah, no, it doesn't go all the way back to 775. However, quite frankly, if you're spending over $100 on a CPU cooler for your 775 CPU, then you need to adjust your priorities. All right, two things here. Check this out. You can control not only the two fans that are included with the H100i using one of these little adapters right here that takes your 4-pin or 3-pin fan. You can do whichever you want. And uses the built-in Corsair Link software that can be controlled from your desktop to adjust your fan profiles and monitor your coolant temperature and all kinds of cool stuff like that. But you can also plug in another one, totally optional. You don't have to plug it in. It's up to you. The choice is yours. You're the consumer. And you can control an additional 2 fans just like that. So cool. Love to see these kinds of options. And Corsair is so good at aesthetics. Every wire is black. It just looks perfect. Like everything about it is just perfect, just awesome. Corsair Link interfaces with your system using a simple USB connection. So all you got to do is plug this guy into here. So you're going to go ahead, you're going to have that on your socket. You're going to run this around the back of your motherboard and plug it into your USB header on your motherboard. Oh, and this looks way better than the older one as well, actually. Everything about this is better. That looks fantastic. Let's go ahead and take this off so you guys can really see it. Nice, glossy Corsair logo going on there. Very, 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 very sleek. The fans. Let's talk about the fans that are included. So these are kind of like a, okay, I hate to use this word, but kind of like a cheapo version of the SPs, where they have the same blade design, the same frame design, but we lose the rubber mounts. We lose the interchangeable colored rings. So these are things that are just kind of too expensive for an included OEM style fan. I think this is kind of cool though. There's little spots to mount what appears, these look like LED mounts, but they don't go all the way through. But Slick was saying you could just kind of drill through and you could probably mount LEDs on it, which would be pretty sweet. And they're sort of an off color, but it'll still look very sort of matching in high performance once they're spinning and they're on your rad like that. It's going to look outstanding. So you get two of those. These are way better than what was included with previous generation products because these broad blades and the way that they're swept aren't great for moving a ton of air in an open configuration like this, but they're fantastic for moving enough air through a very, very tight fin matrix like this. You can check out my episode on the NCIX comm channel where I introduced the SP series fans and talked about how much better they are for certain applications. Now let's get to the cooler itself. The radiator hasn't changed much. You got your standard radiator mounting size. You got your, these look like the same fin density, so nothing's really changed here, but Corsair has increased the size of the coolant hoses. They've also dramatically improved the quality of them. Check this out. Even though this is 3/8 inch tubing, you can do pretty much whatever you need to do with it to get it to your CPU socket. This is way better than what we saw included on the H100. In fact, I have an H100 over here, which you guys can come have a look at. So see, this used a corrugated plastic that was, it wasn't going to kink or anything, but it wasn't very flexible, and it didn't allow you to manage it very easily. So this is definitely way better, nice and soft, and we've still got, see, these are rotating fittings so that you can get at wherever you need to get at. The bottom is copper, which it better be, and it's got pre-applied, very high quality thermal compound. You probably won't even see much improvement from changing that out to something that's, you know, an aftermarket thermal compound. So thank you for checking out my unboxing and first look at the Corsair H100i. I've recommended the Corsair H100 probably 100 times on Twitter or Facebook or wherever else, and I will do this exactly the same thing to this one because it is so much better than single radiator solutions, and the build quality of this looks just outstanding. The Corsair Link software is a bonus, and the fact that it now includes very competitive performance fans, where previously the H100 had fans that you'd probably want to replace. Don't forget to subscribe to Linus Tech Tips for more unboxings, reviews, and other computer videos.